Hello everyone, welcome to my build for Outriders. Pyromancer. A Firestorm build. So, this build will require you to have Heatwave, Phaser Beam, and Volcanic rounds. Heatwave summons stuff, fire in front of you and burns enemies and deal a lot of damage. Phaser Beam fires a beam in front of you and sets enemy on fire. Volcanic rounds will buff you. I mean, it's as simple as that. This is a damage build. What do you expect? We are going to go down the Firestorm route, which is going to do a lot of burn damage, which is going to be how this class even is capable of playing into the end game, because this class fucking like a piece of wet paper is stronger than this class. Yeah, it's just the survivability of this class is non-existent. And this class, and this build can only be done on tier 14, and I'm already telling you right now that even on tier 14, you will fail like 50% of all maps because of how fucking overscaled every single enemy is in this game compared to you. It's so dumb. And this class has no survivability whatsoever with any of its abilities. None. No survivability. So if you are into paper thin classes that does a shit ton of damage, well, this build is for you. If you're not into those kind of things, this build is definitely not for you. And by the way, the Firestorm path is the quote unquote tank class or tank build for the Pyromancer. Tank as in quotation mark. I guess you are a not wet piece of paper, but you are still a piece of paper. I don't know what they were thinking with this class and how they expect people to play this solo at endgame. Like, it has no survivability built into it whatsoever. And let me go over it, and you might be thinking, wow, that's a lot of survivability. It's not. It's not. Alright, so this class mainly specs into HP, so getting Distant Flame is a must because that increases your anomaly power. Getting Incinerate is a must because that turns things into ash, which neutralizes them, allowing you to maybe survive. And Anomalous Lava, which increases your armor, which you think would help you survive, but it really doesn't. And Fuel for the Embers, which improves your skill leech when you are already dead. Because let's be honest, if you're at 30% of your HP, you are already dead. Like, a snail could kiss you and you would fall over and die, as to how fucking overtuned everything is on tier 14 when you're using this class. I now fully understand so many people's complaint about this game on the end game. Like, I didn't really understand because I was playing the Technomancer a lot, and that has the minigun build, which is super tanky. But now that I'm playing this class, I truly now understand why people complain about the end game. Yeah. Anyways, you will have to get Magma Elemental. It helps you with resistances. You will want to get Wildfire, allowing you to use your abilities more. Since this is a ability based build, you will be wanting to spam them as much as possible, so cooldown works. They nerfed this Trial Fire by 10%. It used to be 15%, now it's 5%. Did you also know that they nerfed Weakness, bringing it from 25% damage, more damage to 15% more damage? Why do they nerf skills that affects other builds instead of nerfing only skills that bullet builds were causing a problem with? I don't understand. Anyways, it's not why we're here. We're here to talk about builds. Speaking of builds, you will want on your gun status power and skill life leech, and also socket on invulnerability bullets. Just the highest tier you can get for it. This is a status power build. so it makes sense to have status power on your gun. Skill leech is self-explanatory. That is how you're going to survive, barely, with this build. The legendary set that you'll want is the Akari legendary set, which gives you the bonus of when you hit something with heat wave, it increases your anomaly power by 50%. This will allow you to deal a lot of damage. So that is why most of the skills that you're going to see is centered around heat wave. Speaking of which, on the helmet innately built into it is Fire Tsunami, doubling the width of the fire wall. Very useful hitting a lot of enemies, as you will need to with the set bonus. Inferno Wave lets your heat wave deal more damage. If you're going to be using it, might as well get it to deal more damage. On your armor, innately built into it is Tidal Wave. Whatever the other one is, replace it with Lava Shot, increasing anomaly power by 25% while the skill is active. Basically, turn this skill on and forget about it. Until you need to turn it on again, of course, because this game likes to turn off your skills every once in a while. When you transition, when there's a cutscene, etc. You will want on your waistcloth, on your pants, to have, or innately built into it is Anomaly Echo. The other skill sucks, so replace it with Volcanic Armor. The other skill is, I believe, your Fire Wave inflicts weakness. You don't want that. You want to be able to survive long enough to actually fire off your laser. So getting Volcanic Armor will help you with that. On your glove, you'll want the trinity of Anomaly Power, Status Power, and Cooldown Reduction. This is damage, damage, damage. Yeah. Anyways, you will also, on your glove, want Burnout as innately built into it, which allows enemies to take more damage when they're burning. You will also want Ride the Wave as modded onto it for more usage of a heat wave. On your shoes, you will want the Trinity, once again, Anomaly Power, Status Power, Cooldown Reduction. On it, you will want Size Matters, which doubles the beam's radius by 100%, allowing you to hit more things. And you will also want Pure Power, which increases the beam's damage. If you're going to be using the beam, might as well increase its damage. And that is the build that you are going to use. I will warn you now, as I have been warning you throughout this video, this is not viable on tier 15. And it's viable on tier 14 if you are very, very careful. It is not a fast build by any means, just like my other one, but it is doable on tier 14 if you are very, very careful. Again, you are literally made of paper. Even with all the tankiness that comes from your passive skill, don't let that fool you. Enemies will still two-shot you if they get a chance, because the developers don't know how to balance their game. Anyways, enough complaining. We will basically run, I believe, Chem Labs for the rest of the video. So if you're interested in watching that and how the skill is played and how the class is played, stick around and watch me die. If not, well, I hope you'll give this build a try. At least you'll be able to run tier 13 really easily, because you can run tier 14 with with some difficulties, and it's impossible to run tier 15. So it's a fun build either way. Give it a try. I promise you will like it. Anyways, if you're heading off, thank you for watching this video. Think about hitting that subscribe button. It'll make my day. I promise you it will. And I'll see you guys next time. For those of you that are sticking around, be prepared to be amazed at how paper thin this class is. I swear to you, I have died from full HP before. I will try to play as careful as possible, but because of how the timer system works in this game, I tend to, like, I don't know. I tend to play a very risky style of play. Remember, you don't have any resistances, so standing in that is like deadly, as you can see right there. I know that's a sniper because I've been killed by that thing like 2 to 3 times. The damage, as you can see, is pretty high on this build. That thing just frees me in the middle of my beam. Good lord. I almost died 3 times there. This room is super dangerous. Good God. By the way, just so you guys understand this, right? Whenever I'm charging my laser, I'm taking 50% less damage. And I'm still taking that much damage. Just think about that, right? And how ridiculous that is. Like, how can they say that we players are dealing too much damage when their enemies are dealing way too much damage? When I literally have every single defensive buff that this class can give me right now. And I'm still taking nearly all of my HP in damage every single time. Right? Like, how can they say that we as players deal too much damage when their enemies are literally hitting me for over 90% of my HP?
Whatever that thing is, that switch should disable it.
When I have 50% damage reduction and 60-something% damage reduction on my armor. So it's 50% damage off, and then it's only taking 40% of damage of the remaining 50% damage. And I'm still taking nearly 90% of my HP in damage. Like, how can they possibly say that we are dealing too much damage? Okay. I'm like super focused mode here because this is actually a huge challenge. Can't stay there, can't stay there, can't stay there. God! Please die. Oh, thank God. Alright, the rest is easy. Holy fucking hallelujah, I did it without dying. Alright, that actually requires a lot
about those
of
energy
luck
spikes?
and
Had a
some
functioning
skill.
power cell down here.
What did you do with it?
It's disabled. I'll see if Zahidi can take a look at it. And I found a pod down here.
You saved some lives today, Outriders.
God damn.
I would expect nothing less from you. is granted.
Please give me legendary for that. Please. Please.
Oh, crap.
What? Don't say that. Don't say crap. Oh no, it is crap. Man, successfully running one of the is so ridiculous. Just imagine that, right? On tier 15. You just can't do it. Damage block thanks to my phaser beam, 500,000. And I took, by the way, 1.2 million damage. I would have taken 1.7 million damage had it not been for the phaser beam ability. Let's look at healing. I leached 1.1 million HP. Good. Healing from class heal. Barely anything. They really got to rethink that, huh? Because your class ability doesn't heal you for much at all. And for damage dealt, I dealt a total of 135 million in damage. Most of the damage came from the phaser beam and the burn skill. And of course, heat wave comes in third. Your 3 major damage source. So, this is basically also the strongest burn build that you can actually make, the strongest phaser beam that you can actually make, and the strongest heat wave that you can actually make. So, if you're interested in using those 3 skills primarily, I mean, this is for you, right? 107.51 heat wave. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. At least I didn't die in that run. But if you couldn't tell from my reactions during that run, man, a lot of stress whenever I play this this character. But it's fun if you like to burn the world down along with you. Hopefully don't nerf this too, because I think this actually needs a slight buff, if anything. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Once again, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you all next time for another skill video. Peace. Do I have like an emote I can shoot you? Sure. Bye.